She lost her job for bringing her child to work on a morning that already felt heavier than usual. The alarm hadn't gone off because her phone battery had died sometime in the night, and she woke up to her son's coughing instead. The sound came from deep in his chest, sharp and uneven, the kind that made a mother's heart race before her feet even touched the floor. She sat up fast, pressing her palm to his forehead. Warm, too warm. Her stomach dropped. She checked the clock on the microwave. She was already late. Her name was Brenda Lopez, and for the past 3 months, she had been walking a tightrope between survival and collapse. Every day was a calculation. If she missed work, she lost pay. If she lost pay, rent slipped further out of reach. If she lost her job, everything else followed. There was no safety net beneath her, no family nearby, no savings tucked away for emergencies. There was just her and Mateo. Mateo was 6 years old, small for his age, with dark curls that never stayed combed and eyes that watched the world with quiet seriousness. He had asthma, the kind that flared when he got sick or stressed or when the air turned too cold. Brenda knew the signs well. She had spent too many nights counting his breaths, whispering prayers she wasn't sure anyone was listening to. She should have kept him home. She knew that, but the daycare had already warned her. One more absence and Mateo would lose his spot. And her manager had warned her too. One more missed shift, and there would be consequences. Brenda stood in the tiny bathroom, staring at her reflection, hair pulled back in a rushed ponytail, dark circles under her eyes. She weighed her options, but there really weren't any, so she dressed Mateo in his cleanest hoodie, packed his inhaler, kissed his forehead, and brought him with her. The office was already buzzing when they arrived.
Phones rang, keyboards clicked, coffee machines hissed.
Brenda kept her head down as she led Mateo to the small, unused conference room near her desk. "You sit here, okay?" she whispered. "Draw. Don't make noise. Mama will check on you." Mateo nodded, clutching his backpack like it was a shield. For the first hour, things were fine. Brenda answered emails, filed reports, tried to focus. Every few minutes, she glanced toward the conference room door. Mateo was quiet, too quiet. When she slipped in to check on him, he was curled up in a chair, breathing shallowly, his face pale. That was when Letitia walked in. Letitia was the kind of supervisor who never raised her voice but somehow made the room feel smaller when she spoke. She stood straight, dressed perfectly, eyes sharp and assessing. "Why is there a child in the conference room?" she asked, her tone flat. Brenda's mouth went dry. "My son is sick," she said softly. "I didn't have anyone else today. I just need to finish my shift." Letitia crossed her arms. "This is a workplace, not a daycare." "I understand," Brenda said quickly. "I'll make sure he stays out of the way. I can't miss another day. Please." Letitia didn't hesitate. "Company policy is clear. No children on site. You've already missed several days this month." Brenda felt heat rush to her face. "He has asthma. I'm doing the best I can." Letitia's expression didn't change. "This is unprofessional. I'm terminating your employment effective immediately." The words landed like a physical blow. Brenda couldn't breathe for a second. Around them, coworkers pretended to focus on their screens. No one spoke. No one met her eyes. "Please," Brenda whispered, "just today. I need this job." Letitia turned away. HR will email you. Brenda gathered Matteo, her hands shaking. She packed her things in silence, the hum of the office pressing in on her ears. When she stepped outside, the sky was gray, heavy with rain. She didn't have an umbrella. She wrapped her jacket around Matteo and walked. The rain started slowly, then harder. Matteo coughed into her shoulder. "Mama, are we in trouble?" he asked. "No," Brenda said, forcing a smile. "We're okay." But she didn't know if that was true. The days that followed blurred together. Brenda applied everywhere: grocery stores, cafes, cleaning services. Each interview went well until they asked about her last job, until the word terminated came up. Then the smiles faded to be why the end of the second week. The fridge was almost empty. By the third, she was behind on rent. She pawned the last piece of jewelry she owned. Her engagement ring from a man who had promised forever and delivered silence instead. The money bought groceries and half a refill of Matteo's medication. One night, Matteo's breathing worsened. Brenda sat on the floor of their apartment, back against the wall, holding the inhaler to his mouth, counting his breaths through tears. "Please," she whispered. "Please." He slept eventually, but she didn't. She stared at the ceiling until morning. Fear coiled tight in her chest. At IT was Mrs. Maria, the neighbor down the hall, who knocked on her door 2 days later. An older woman with gentle eyes and a voice that carried both kindness and strength. "Mija," she said, holding out a flyer. "They're hiring janitorial staff across town. It's honest work." Brenda took the paper like it was something fragile. She thanked her over and over. The next day, she and Matteo took 2 buses to the cleaning company's office. It was modest, nothing fancy. Brenda filled out the application, checked yes when asked if she'd ever been fired, her hand shaking. She didn't expect anything. But the call came the next afternoon. Part-time work, afternoon shift. And when Brenda hesitantly explained her situation, there was a pause. Then the woman on the phone said, "As long as your child stays in the break room, we can make it work." Brenda cried after she hung up. The work was hard. Floors to scrub, trash to haul, bathrooms to clean until her hands burned. But Matteo was safe nearby, drawing superheroes on scrap paper, waiting for her. And sometimes, Brenda noticed a man watching from down the hall. Tall, quiet, kind eyes. He never stared, never spoke much, just nodded when they passed. His name was Bruce Rivera, though Brenda didn't know it yet. Bruce had grown up hidden in janitor closets while his mother cleaned offices at night. He remembered the smell of bleach, the hum of lights, the way she smiled even when she was exhausted. When he saw Brenda kneeling beside her son, wiping his forehead with a rag and making him laugh, something inside him broke open. He didn't announce himself. He didn't make speeches. He left small things behind: colored pencils, a new inhaler, warm food, always anonymous. Weeks passed. Brenda worked harder than anyone. She never complained. She showed up early, stayed late, took extra shifts. And slowly, things began to change at the company anniversary gathering. Bruce stood in front of everyone and told his story, about his mother, about being that child. And then he looked at Brenda and thanked her for reminding him where he came from. He promoted her that day, gave Matteo a scholarship, changed everything. Later, when the applause faded and the room emptied. Brenda stood there holding her son's hand, tears on her cheeks. For the first time in a long time, she didn't feel invisible. Months later, on a quiet rooftop at sunset, Bruce gave her a simple bracelet engraved with one word: always. Not a promise of perfection, just presence. Brenda held Matteo between them, the city glowing below, and realized something important. Losing her job had nearly broken her, but it had also led her somewhere she never expected, to people who saw her, to kindness that asked for nothing back, to a future that finally felt possible. And sometimes she thought the worst moments are only the beginning of something better.